You survived the most famous serial killer since Jack the Ripper.
I saw him today.
Who? How can you be sure it was really him?
Hey guys, this is Damien Leone, writer-director of Terrifier and Terrifier 2, and you're watching Death Curse Society.
Rock and roll! 6 o'clock already, it was just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, cause that's my fun day. My I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Here we are again, folks. Another episode of Monday Maniacs from Death Curse Society. I'm Red Crank. I got FaZe, Zigzag, and the Colonel. Yeah.
What's up? Let me censor myself. How's it going, you fine gentlemen?
Fine, good sir, and yourself.
I'm doing stupendously.
Stupendously?
I don't know. Stupid being the main word in stupendously because I can't cut.
It's a pleasure to see you, gentlemen. Right. What the hell is going on? Man, we got a busy show tonight. We got 2 reviews we're going to do for you. We're going to talk, of course, about Terrifier 3, which is in theaters now, and by God, the #1 movie in the country. Let's talk about that for a minute. Can you guys fathom that?
Told you.
Oh, shut up.
No,
Oh,
I did say, what, we got 10 million with Terrifier 2. I said 25 million for this one, and it's I'm on record saying it, whatever. So
yeah, and you were wrong.
Well, we got 18.2, and it's just that was the whole run last time. This thing is going to be around for a couple of weeks.
Well, this one has a little more hype behind it, and let's be honest, this isn't shitting on Terrifier 3. What's the competition? What was the competition this weekend?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A Joker movie that was slammed the week prior. No one was going to go see the Joker this week.
Well, it was supposed to open alongside Wolfman, right?
Yes.
But Wolfman jumped ship, and then even Terrifier moved up a week or something like that because Smile 2 filled that spot. So when they saw that, they jumped up a week. So
I think it was a wise move. I mean,
they scheduled it right.
I went Thursday night, and my theater had about 35 people in it. I was very surprised at that.
Dude, my theater on Thursday night was full.
Yeah.
Like the very first row was the only thing that was open.
I had like 20 people, maybe 15, 20 people when I saw it.
Well, I saw they did like 2.2 the first Thursday night. They had 2.2 million in, so.
Yeah,
pretty
something
cool.
Yeah. Also, we're going to be talking about, let me scroll down there to way down there. There we go. We will also be talking about It's Me, Billy, Chapter 2 from our buddies Bruce Dale and Dave McRae. That is over on YouTube, and it is the final chapter of the It's Me, Billy saga, which wraps up Black Christmas from 1974. So,
and not only that, the final chapter of the DCS covering fan films as well.
More than likely. More than likely. It's going to have to be something
special
for us to get back into fan films. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end. So let's circle back to that. All right.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Good deal.
All right. Let's see who's in the room. I think we got pretty much
Lots of folks.
all the typical Monday nighters. We got Alex in here. We got Dr. Smiley, Gina, Lorena, like King Spice, whatever her name is. What? By the way, I need an explanation on this Spice Like Us
I'm gonna
thing.
have to default to Mama Lorena. Mama Faze is gonna have to fill you in on this one.
I need a little help on this. So fill me in here.
Yeah,
I'm not even fully sure. So yeah, let's get an explanation.
I was just kidding and shit. All of a sudden, I had a whole thing and a profile and a background and everything. I don't know what the hell's going on either. But
You're Indica Spice.
I'm
Frank
Indica
is
Spice.
Karaoke Spice. I'm Fuzzy Phase Spice. We need to get one for Colonel.
That's I'm like the least liked person on the show.
You're not even in the group.
I know.
You're much in there.
So to be fair,
We got Gina in here. We got BK. Adam's here. Bill's here. Aaron's here. Joshua's here. I knew Joshua wouldn't miss this one.
Oh hell no, man! We had to get in.
Rick's in the house. Bella's here. Tarek's on the way. Tarek's there. Yeah, everybody's filling in.
There's a lot of you here already. I like it.
Oh, Grandma Faze is here. Sue, welcome.
She's got a new machine, a new computer to make sure she can stay in real time with the DCS.
Oh, she does? Nice.
Congratulations and welcome.
Paula's-
God damn it, welcome.
Paula's in the house. Yeah, I think the time limit's expired.
We're
right now.
10 minutes past. It was 11 minutes. So.
Paula's here. I think that's everybody. Thanks for tuning in, folks. There's Carrie.
Oh, Carrie.
Carrie, I haven't seen you in a while.
Wow.
Thanks for joining us from across the pond, my dear.
Yes.
yes, long time no see. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited.
All
I
right.
set my game up now.
Good morning, man.
Stop playing your goddamn games, Colonel. We got a show to do here.
Put away that Nintendo. But it's a Sega. I'm sorry.
All right.
Everything was Nintendo in the 90s. Sorry.
All right. Before we get into our reviews, we got to, pay the bills, kind of. So, thanks to our members, our final girls and guys, Christy, C-Phase, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Robert, our Crazy Ralphs, Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn enchilada pod. And, of course, to our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick, Dave, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ.
He's always tripping on that Chuck Schick one, too.
Chuck Schick.
It's a hard name to say.
Well,
Chuck Schick.
I feel like you have to say, I can't say it like Chuck Schick. It doesn't.
Chuck.
Yeah, it
You
doesn't
just
sound
feel
right.
like a basketball player. Chuck Schick.
No.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on. I'll stop it before we get blocked.
I try to compress the two names together to make like one just like Madonna, like Chuck Schick. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you want to become a member, support the DCS, check us out at deathcursesociety.com. Hit up the membership tab and see what strikes your fancy. And of course, finally, thanks to our producer C-Phase. Woo!
That's right.
And that's
There he
all
is.
we got. That's all we
Yeah.
got.
It's chilly. That's all I got going on.
I've
41
got
degrees,
one
baby.
small bit of business I'd like to just bring up real quick. If
Oh,
I could.
hold on. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
just get it out of the way. We go to a lot of cons, as you all know. This summer we were at Motor City Nightmares, and one of my favorite vendors here, the Dancing Eye Gallery. They always have the best shirts. Like when I was a kid, the Sir Graves Ghastly, the Thriller double feature, and this one I requested years ago, Scream Theater. This was a good one. This was a real good one, but they didn't have my fucking size. So she said, listen, give me your number, and when I get it, I will call you. Well, this was July, right, when we were there?
Yes.
So August, September. It's 3 months later. I forgot all about this shit. So here I get a text, random text saying, hey, you still want that? I got it for you. So I went over there, and there she is over at the Dancing Eye Gallery. She had the shirt, and she said, goddamn right. She's a woman of her word. And they're going to get on the Saturday Night Dead for me next, and I can't wait. So
Ooh, nice.
thank you,
Nice.
Dancing Eye Gallery. Lived up to it, and wow, that's. I think that was one of my favorites too. The Friday night about 2 a.m. that shit would come on. The best, Jerry, the best.
The best.
When you do that, make sure to go back to our layout.
I wasn't sure. Thought it was.
Please.
Why would it change?
It messes it up every time.
Son of a bitch.
Because you hit the buttons wrong.
The wrong button on your machine.
You guys are bitching already. We haven't even started talking about Terrifier yet.
All right. Well, then let's get into it. God damn it. Terrifier 3 in theaters now. Anticipation, Colonel.
I was hyped for this one at the beginning when it was first announced. But I'll be honest, the continued online hype was kind of getting to me to a little bit. Kind of brought my anticipation down a few levels. I just thought maybe it was a little too much. Because that's a lot of hype to try to live up to. But still, I went to the first showing on opening night. I couldn't fucking wait.
Yeah.
I had to be there, so my anticipation level didn't drop that much, obviously. I was there, damn it. I was there. And I got my cup, but not my popcorn bucket because they didn't have one.
All right. By the way, before we move on, I will say we're not getting into spoilers yet. So if you haven't seen the movie, stick around.
Yeah,
But
no worries.
when we do get to the spoilers, we will splash our famous, oversized, very bold, and bright spoiler alert warning.
Sometimes
you
we're
know what's
late,
coming.
but that's okay.
Mostly because of Colonel.
I'm not sure. We'll
Bullshit. Only
we might not even need it.
at a time.
All right, Ziggy, how about your anticipation?
Well, obviously, we've had the discussion, and I kind of feel Art is on his way to being an iconic serial killer in our film world, as we know, like with the Jasons and the Michaels and the Freddys and whatnot. But there's a dispute there, and I understand why.
We'll discuss that too.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, I was like, okay. But again, I mean, Crank, you were standing right next to me when I said to Damien, hey, dude, don't ask too many questions without answering, much to his annoyance.
Right.
But, and he's like, oh, yeah. Don't worry, man. When you're going to walk out of Terrifier 3 knowing exactly what's going on and where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
We can discuss that in a bit, too. But my anticipation was like, man, because of that, I kind of kept it tempered a little bit. I didn't go crazy with it. But yeah, of course. I mean, I know there's going to be some good gore here, and I want to see that. So, and knowing he brought in a team specifically to do these things, I was kind of like, yeah, man. So yeah, it's definitely been up there in that top 3 of the hype, just because of what it is, for sure. So anticipation, pretty high.
Well, I don't know if I would put this in my top 3 anticipated of the year. Probably top 5. I've been on record famously for not jumping on the hype train that is Terrifier series. They're fine. They're okay. And Ziggy and I had a famous argument about how relevant Art the Clown needs to be in a slasher tier ranking, which that might continue a little bit later.
That might have went off before 2 came out, I think.
No, that was after 2.
It was after 2.
Yeah.
That was a review of 2, probably, yeah.
It was shortly after 2. That's when we decided to do it, that I remember anyway. But, so anticipation was, but then it got, the marketing of this, and you guys can chime in on this too if you want. The marketing on this went a little bit overboard, in my opinion. It was, now granted, I know the company that owns Bloody Disgusting also owns the production company that distributed this film. I get that. Cinedigm or Cineverse, something like that. So I understand that, of course, Bloody Disgusting is going to put out basically a post a day for 6 months about Terrifier. And honestly, I got burnt out on it. I got tired of seeing the same image like promoted 4 times a week. It got a little old for me. And then the fan base, and I don't mean all of you guys, but the hardcore fan base was rabid this time around. And even before the movie came out, they were chomping at the bit and attacking anyone that had a differing opinion. Feel free in the comments, Yeah, I'll defend my discussion here later. So much so that even they were screenshotting other people's personal thoughts on the movie and then taking it to their little private group that if you say anything even possibly negative about the movie, you get kicked out of immediately. And then just railing on this guy. And then from that group, they went and attacked him on his own personal page. So that's not cool, man. That's not cool. Now, the marketing of doing it again, people are passing out, people are throwing up, blah, 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 blah. We knew it was coming. We knew it was going to happen.
Very Exorcist marketing that works.
Yeah, I guess
it's starting to work less, but it does work to an extent.
It's starting to get along with that terms where people are like, "Oh, the scariest movie ever," and everyone that watches horror movie is like, "No, probably not." We already know.
I mean, yeah, I think they've been doing marketing like that since the 50s, man.
I was going to say I've got a couple too.
Sure,
Yeah.
But
The 50s.
we knew it was coming, but it's I don't know.
I'll be honest. That's where that's where my anticipation started going down, because it's like, all right, you did that with 2, now you're repeating the cycle with 3.
Right.
And let me ask you, we've all seen it, obviously. They're all like, they're out in the first 5 minutes. Come on, guys.
There wasn't anything in the first 5 minutes that was that bad.
No, dude. Or are we that fucking warped and demented and desensitized that the problem is us?
Well, I think if anybody walked out, it's because it was a general public showing. They didn't know what they were walking into. Hey, you want to see this movie for free? Come check it out. You got people that aren't horror fans. Like, what the fuck is this shite? Because it was in England, and they got up and fucking left. Like, I mean, I honestly, I think that's how it was done. I have no proof, just pure speculation on my part. But if you're going in there knowing you're seeing Terrifier 3 and you're a horror fan, you're not walking out on that. So there's nothing to walk out on. It was just.
But Colonel, I think you even mentioned this in one of your just like regular posts amongst us, like a comment, like you thought there were people that came to see the movie in your showing that had never seen the first 2 before. Is that what you said? Was that you?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard them talking after the movie. Oh, because you got to remember, TikTok blew up Terrifier 2. Like, a lot of that was the TikTok hype. This one, I was trying to pick up on. Again, it worked because there were girls. Most of them were females there with their boyfriends who had never seen this fucking movie before, and they were asking questions, but they had never seen 1 or 2. And the majority of people in the audience probably never seen 1 either. They're like, "Oh, now I got to watch the first one." So it's.
All right. Well, how about you, FaZe? Marketing and anticipation for this one.
Yeah, I don't know how much more I can add from what you just said. I mean, it's, it started off all right. I remember really liking David Howard Thornton and Damien Leone when we met them. That kind of helped my, I guess you could say my hype. I guess liking the people behind the film always helps me, want to see a film, of course, and vice versa, of course. But like you said, it was a bit much. The marketing was definitely a bit much, and the fan base definitely makes you turn your nose a little bit. Makes you not want to be too excited about it because you don't want to, accidentally be associated in any way. But that said, it is one of the most hyped movies of the year. It probably would have been my top 5. I mean, the thing that I didn't like about 2 was how long it was, and I was pissed to hear that this still was over 2 hours long. That made me really not excited to see this. That really brought my anticipation down.
Doesn't feel like 2 hours this
No,
time.
it was like what, maybe 2 hours and
2 hours and 6,
Yeah,
but I mean,
like-
still, it's like I was hoping for like a 150, 140.
Now, Colonel, I want to ask about. I want to go off our regular train of thought that we normally do here,
Okay.
just for a minute, because this is an unrated film. This doesn't go through the MPAA, doesn't get one of the R, PG-13, PGG, indications. So, how many under 17 people were in your theater, your full theater, that you can guess on?
There were a few at least.
Dude, I hate to say, I'm gonna say probably like 50%, 60%.
Could you tell?
It was high school kids, college kids, and my old ass.
Could you tell if there was any parental supervision there for him?
No, fuck no, dude.
Okay.
Trust me, I was the only one there that's probably old enough to rent a car.
I was the oldest in my theater,
You were the oldest in your theater?
easily.
Says
Well,
the kids have spoken, Crank.
Shit, I probably was too. Well, but that brings me to a point. Why are they there? They shouldn't be there if they're under 17. That's absolutely nobody under 17. It's not a oh, you can watch it with a parent. So
No,
No, I read numerous stories of people that bought tickets online, a kid's ticket, sold no problem, Regal Theaters, and the adult showed up and then they said, nope, kid cannot go in, will not admit them. It's company policy, company-wide.
right.
So, and they got shut down. No movie.
None of my Regal.
That's what I'm saying. They don't give a fuck here. MJR, they're like, mine was the same thing. Probably 25% were underage that shouldn't have been there.
There was a handful of mine too,
Yeah.
but and I'm not being a stickler about that, but
No.
it's just that was kind of one of those things. So I don't know if it's I would assume it's just whatever theater decides to bend the rules a little bit, and I get it because theaters have been struggling the last several years. So, but
Also, I think if you're 17-year-old, 16-year-old kid, and you can get in and see a movie like this, you're in fucking heaven, man. Like
yeah,
you're
that's
just
true.
all out. Like
Forbidden fruit, man.
yeah,
yes.
This doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the topic, but I thought it was funny. Since FaZe said he was the oldest in his theater, Orlando said he was the best looking in his theater. So
Nice.
I'm sure you were, you sexy son of a bitch. You.
Yes, sexy bastard. Yeah.
There we go. Bethany says there were a couple of kids in our theater. They were there with their parents, though. So, all right. Well,
You know what? I can't say shit because my dad took me to see Alien. My dad took me to see Zombie. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's the same. It's the same kind of thing.
But you were there with your dad. Like I said, in my theater, it's like they said, "Hey, Mom, can we see this movie?" Yeah, she went and bought the tickets. Said, "Here you go. I'll be back in a couple hours. Pick you up."
I had that more times than not. But I mean, I'm just saying, as far as a parent taking the kid in to see this shit like this, yeah, how can I say? I mean, I'm not a hypocrite,
And also keep in mind, Ziggy, back when you were a kid, there was no rating system. So
yeah,
it was that long ago.
It was just past the silent era.
Right.
Like I said, you were able to take your kid to the Spank Theater, just wait in the lobby. So,
All right.
Where are we going with this?
Where are we going with this? Let's go on to let's go on here. All right. So this movie picks up pretty much right after, at least for a little bit, right after 2. And I'm not going to go through like a play-by-play like we have in the past, but
No.
I'll just ask, I'll start with FaZe on this one. What do you think of Act 1 in general? Or let's just keep it with the setup, the original like 15 minutes or so.
Sure. I mean, yeah, because they kind of did the whole like there's an opening and then it cuts back or cuts forward. I can't remember, but it goes.
It starts 5 years ahead, then it goes back to right after Terrifier 2.
That's right. So it starts with him, it starts brutal immediately, which is kind of what you expect out of these films at this point. They always start pretty quickly with the slashing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's not bad.
I like that.
It's you know, I genuinely enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it knowing that, you know, it's gonna be followed up by probably 45 minutes of exposition, so I better enjoy it while I can. That was kind of the feeling I had, at least in my head, watching the first 15 minutes. But, you know, just trying to remember it all. Honestly, it might be the best part of the film for me, maybe, but I have to remember everything to really be sure about that.
All right, I'll throw it to Ziggy then, because Ziggy, tell us a little bit about, you know, the opening.
I don't know if you want me to actually spoil it or what. So
no, not necessarily spoil it, but, you know, basically it's a kid thinking he hears Santa Claus on the roof, and she come and discovering that it's not, and blood is spilled. So
yes,
lots of blood.
And well, I understand. I guess I understand why people they're supposed to be outraged, because something that Leone's not afraid to do is break classic tropes and
or standards of film.
Standards of slasher films. He's kind of making his own rules, which is commendable. And this is something that occurred to me as because I saw this Thursday. I had all this time to think about it too. I love that. So a lot of things hit me like this, and that's why I think, you know, you guys might be surprised with what I ended up scoring this thing. But yeah, that beginning is pretty good. It immerses you in that fucking Christmas fucking kind of haze, man. Any Christmas movie you've seen with the lights and the soft Christmas music in the background, probably a number you've played in your own house around Christmas time. It's fucked up, man. And then it goes batshit right away. And, you know, I was wondering a couple things right away, going, okay, how did we get to this? You know, from where we were. Right. It's all right. They fill it in. And it is good, but walk out, absolutely not. It would never happen, not in a million years. There was nothing there that would get me close to getting up to leave there. But it was cool. It was definitely cool. A nice jump back into the Terrifier world.
Well, yeah, and it does. It definitely serves as a, hey, if you are new here, hold on to your butts.
Yeah.
Oh, certainly.
This is what to expect.
Yep. Colonel, jump on in there.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm with Zag. I love the Christmas feeling. I'll be honest. I'll jump ahead a little bit where it's like final thoughts. I'm like, man, I can't wait for Christmas. Like, it felt like this. It got me in the Christmas spirit for a day. But now I'll go back. No, the opening, holy shit, I fucking loved it. I didn't need no exposition. I didn't even know why I was there. I just enjoyed every bloody fucking second of it. There's one part in particular I wish they would have went there instead of just hearing it and then seeing the after effects. I kind of wish he would have shown it. Then I can understand people getting up and walking out.
I think hearing it was enough.
That would have been wild, Colonel. I mean, I think next time, I think you got to go there. I think you got to go there.
I don't know, man.
I think you got to, or even worse.
Because we're on record, Zag and I are the gore whores of this fucking movie.
Dude.
Like, the more gore, the fucking better, especially if it looks great. That first 10 minutes of the movie was fucking fantastic.
It was good. It was a solid fucking opening.
It was.
I have some questions.
Yeah.
Bethany says, also, hearing it was enough.
Like I said, I know I'm the one of the rare sick fucks that want to see that. Because, all right, we've seen that off screen enough times. Like, fucking show me.
Or you could have shown the aftermath.
They did.
They did.
Sort of. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So that's enough. I don't think you need to see it live.
Yes, you do.
Per se. Well, all right.
I just think that would have been the moment, like the first movie, probably, if they do some shit like that. Because, come on, dude, it's I can say it's axe attacks and it's fucking whoa, man.
Yeah, like I said,
some of the best. Some of the best.
Like for me, it's like, okay, you're an independent horror film. You're going in unrated. Go fucking go rock and roll on that shit. Punk rock, whatever you want to say, and fucking show it and say, fuck you. This is what you're in for. Like, go balls to the fucking wall. Go all out. That's what I want to see, especially with these. Like, you have the freedom to do this.
But I think he's testing the waters, though. He's testing to see what he can get away with. You know, because that's
pretty wild.
That, and there's another thing later on that we'll talk about. Actually, I guess two things, because I see him. Yeah.
Well, three.
Yeah, dude. There was the whole bunch of taffy happening with that scene, man.
Oh, God.
God damn it.
We'll get there.
Carrie has a good comment, too, because the opening gives you that false sense of Christmas security. Yeah.
It really does.
In a way.
But we knew what's
going on. We knew.
Yes.
And slightly off topic. Dude, that mom had no business being that fucking hot. I was like, there's no way, man. She shouldn't have. I'd rather see, like, you know, someone like me, not in female form without the beard, I guess. I was like, damn. I just say she had no business being that hot. That's all.
Fair enough. And Gina also says hearing was horrible enough. Yeah, there we go. So.
Yeah.
And Ryan says, oh nope, that's not Ryan. Ryan says, go balls deep on the gore.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. We'll get to that. So, all right. We covered everybody on the opening, right?
I think so.
Pretty
good look. We didn't give anything away per se. I mean, if you saw the little teaser at the end of 2, then you kind of know where this was going already.
I have a question about the opening, though. Why was Art there at all? And why was he on the roof?
I'm totally talking out my ass on this one. So the first Terrifier movie, we all know, that is kind of like the whole story of, you know, the first Halloween, where it's just by chance. It just happened. I think just by chance, Art's like, yeah.
Hey, here's a house.
Yeah. I'm gonna fucking check it out. Like,
lights are on.
Because you were there.
Because you were there.
You gotta, exactly. You were there.
You were home.
You were home. That's it. And I think if we try to analyze it any deeper than that, it's just gonna tarnish it. So just can we all agree with that and move on and kind of keep it what it is? Is that good enough for you, Crank?
I don't know yet.
Random.
Because we have to get into further parts of this film that, especially that tie to 2 a little bit, and discuss that, because then I can maybe give you an answer. Doc wants to know also, does Art ever really need a reason?
Well,
I say no.
That too needs to be looked at closely.
Exactly, because I say in 2, there was a reason kind of given.
It is given, but now it's confirmed. I mean, what is happening, and it's
right.
Like I said, and I can tell you that the thing that I annoyed Damien with, he gave it to us, man. He didn't ask too many more questions. He answered them all this time, and that's cool. He made it. I don't. Did he dumb it down to where everyone's going to get it? I don't think so. But it's pretty straightforward with what's going on and why. You don't really know who's behind everything, I guess, but
well, that question's pretty much answered at the end, I think.
Okay.
Right.
Well, and again, there's this whole the religious aspect to this. It's got to be examined as well.
Well, y'all know what I said after I walked out of the theater. When it comes to that aspect, it was pretty heavy.
We'll come back to this, I think, but let me again. We're going to jump off topic just based on this comment. Luke wants to say, or they say this is part 3, but isn't All Hallows Eve have Art in it? In my opinion, yes, Art is in that, but there's All Hallows Eve. There's the Terrifier short that's like 20 minutes long.
Yeah,
and then there's the Terrifier trilogy as of now. or series. You know, I wouldn't count this as Terrifier 5 just because there's been All Hallows Eve and the Terrifier short. So you got to keep those kind of separate. So, in my opinion. So,
I saw an interesting comment about that ninth realm is mentioned, like something another.
Oh, and
story.
the ninth circle. The ninth circle.
Ninth circle, exactly. And
and there's a Easter egg of that in.
There's
3.
definitely a tie-in to that, which I thought was pretty cool. So I mean, it's
but that would make this Terrifier 6, but it's not.
It's not.
This is a standalone story over 3 movies, eventually 4, maybe 5, based on the CEO of Cineverse. Well, the CEO of Cineverse.
Yeah, somebody else takes it over at that. If Damien doesn't want to do it, then then we get Tommy Lee Wallace taking over for John Carpenter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Jason Blum stepping in for. Oh
God, no! So don't say that.
It's eventually going to happen. We all know this.
Maybe.
As for the random stuff, Tarek says, yes, actually, I do think a reasonable reason should be given. I appreciate random, but I appreciate even more some kind of motive to keep the thread going. Okay. And that's my point because, and fuck what Blum did and all, with the Halloween series, but Halloween, you had Michael going after his sister. That was his primary motivation through most of the sequels, at least. Jason has a motivation to go after the campers and people that are on his land and over his own death and his mom's death.
Revenge.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's got his own motivation. There are most of the main ones have a motivation. So, yeah. Anyway, this one seems to have one, but then not have one, but then have one, then not have one. So that's why I wanted to ask about the random thing. So
there's a part that I'd like to answer, but I can't because it spoils. So
well, I know where you're going to right away, and we can't. I don't think we could say that if we're about talking about the same thing.
I think we're on different wavelengths on this one. Just kind of explain the randomness, even though those people don't are that random. But either way, we'll get to it if we get to it. I'm not going to spoil anything yet.
All right. Well, then correct me if I'm wrong, but then we go back to right after Terrifier 2, right? 5 years previous.
Yes. And
we see the rest of the aftermath at the mental hospital or the whatever you want to call it, the asylum.
Right.
Yeah, the rebirth of art in a way. We see the wonderful performance from some wrestler that I can't think of his name now. Jericho. Yeah, Jericho. I just blanked for a second. I started to say it,
See, I don't have the list. I'd put him on the list right now for that.
You just put you
just made the list.
Yeah, we see a great performance from him.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking horrible, man.
Sarcasm.
That was bad, especially for someone who acts for a living.
I didn't think he was that bad for what he was.
He wasn't that bad. He wasn't.
He was all right. There were worse actors in there than him.
Oh, there were a lot of worse actors in there than him. Colonel, won't you guide us through that scene?
All right. So, like Crank said, we traveled back in time 5 years. We're at the hospital. Events of Terrifier 2. As we all remember, we're left with end of Terrifier 2, Art's smiling head. She just birthed it.
Victoria.
Victoria. So we see what that birthed head does. Well, I guess that's kind of spoilers. Just chaos ensues, and it's kind of walks you through how Art is put back together. It's hard to talk about this without spoiling anything.
Who did that?
I did.
Well, okay. I'm still not going to do it. I'm not.
Okay,
no, I'm not
just
doing
in case. I'm ready.
But it is interesting to see him. And there's some. It's Terrifier, so you expect some jokes. I think there's a fairly funny scene on a bus. We're back at Art's lair, and God damn it, it's hard to talk about it without spoiling it. This is some bullshit. I don't want to give away any plot points because it kind of does.
We're gonna have to double back then. at the end to see if people want to bow out when we get to that part, because
I mean, it's a great part of the film that also gives us a new question that never gets answered. So one question's answered with this movie, while I have another one that I know I'm not going to get an answer for. It's like it was just written in the script. Say, yeah, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Then we'll just fast forward. Like I would. That's the one time in the movie I was like, why? That's the why. That's the why for me in this movie. Why?
All right.
You guys know what I'm talking about, but
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You're being a little too vague, but we'll get there.
Because we don't want to do spoilers.
I know.
I think it's a good plot.
Do you mean
we'll get there?
We'll just say without giving too much away, they go into hibernation, and it's never really explained.
Oh, you are okay. Yes, you're talking about the bathtub and that. So that's cool. I mean, but I too thought that, you know, the dormant stage, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's kind of a play on, you know, what do these killers do, you know, during the winter, let's say at the summer camps. Think of it that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
It still did. Even thinking of it that way, it's still not helping. I mean, at least with Jason in the later movies, it's because he was dead. From 6 on, he was died, and he had to come back. This one, it's like he's fully fucking functional.
Well, he's been put back together.
Not dead.
You know, I mean, he killed himself in the part one.
The first one, Colonel. So,
I know, but and he came back. It's just I just needed a reason why it would have been fucking nice, other than the very lazy, obvious reason that I can piece together.
I wasn't really a fan of that whole sequence.
Well, and here's why I didn't necessarily appreciate that sequence, because wait a minute. Now, where is that first part that we just talked about at the family's house?
Yes.
Because if immediately after the hospital, he goes somewhere, hibernates for 5 years and a couple of months, then when did that scene even happen?
I'm thinking it had to have been right after probably my favorite scene in the movie in Act 2.
Because it even says, you know, at the beginning or after they show that opening sequence, they say 5 years previous or prior, and then they come back and say present day.
Okay.
So, like, you think it has to do with after part 2? Is that what you said, Colonel?
Well, yeah. Well, the part where he comes back, yes, that's directly after part 2. I'm not even talking about the house in the Santa outfit or none of the other shit.
Yeah.
So you're saying why? How did he get to the house if we're going there?
No, that's what I mean. The part with where he's dressed as Santa in the house. Where does that?
I think that's after the bar scene. Again, that's just me putting it together in my head. With no fucking information.
Yeah, he acquired that suit. It was Pulp Fiction like that. The suit part came later. We saw him get the suit later. He had it already when that first scene kicked off. So I think that just
part
of that spree.
Yeah,
okay,
he just left there, and fast forward in time to the beginning of the movie. That's when he's at that house.
Just part of that spree, then.
Yeah,
and
I don't think that was the same house, though. I think that because they were in some grungy ass rundown.
Oh no, it's not. It's not the same house. No.
Yeah.
But, okay, all right. I'll go along with that. FaZe, would you go along with that? After the bar scene, it goes to the house and then the mall and then.
I'm going to, I would have to analyze it heavily, watch it again, but I could take that for now. Yeah.
All right. Who else wants to talk about the hibernation? Because that was.
I don't have any additional thoughts.
I said my piece, so go ahead, FaZe.
I really don't have any additional thoughts. It's just
it's kind of lazy.
Yeah,
I thought it was kind of I don't know.
Well,
like I said, it's a lazy explanation. Just sit in this fucking chair.
Yeah, and see, Bethany agrees with you, I think. After the bar or after the end sequence, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not like the hibernation. Like you just said, it was lazy. It's to me, it's lazy writing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to harp on it too much, but
No, I mean,
it bothered me. It did bother me. You know, and then 5 years later, a hazmat team basically shows up, or a demolition team shows up, and yeah, they discover Victoria in the bathtub. Oh, and we got to talk about that too. They discover Victoria's broken out of the asylum as well, scarred up face and everything. She's in the bathtub. Art the Clown is sitting in a chair like Billy from It's Me, Billy.
looking out of a Amityville horror type window.
Looking out of an Amityville horror type window. Yeah.
Cobwebs.
Yeah. Covered in webs. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm, I mean, I guess that's a little spoilery. I mean, let me give you a half a score.
Yeah.
There you go.
I wouldn't say it's really spoiler. We're not giving any away from the story. But.
Yeah. So these two get, I don't think I can, I'm not ruining anything here. I don't think these two get dispatched in a nice way.
And what you would expect.
Right. Exactly. Anything special about that scene or that you guys want to talk about? Ziggy, start with you.
I was sitting there going, why now? Why? I did sit there, but then I went, you know what? Who gives a fuck? He's back. Let's go. Here we go. Let's get on with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did think it did take me out for a second, but I forced myself back in. I went back in. That's
it. Carrie says Michael Myers took a year out between 4 and 5. Yes, but it was also somewhat explained. He was being nursed back to health by whatever is that hobo or whatever.
The guy with the fucking raven and shit.
Yeah. Tarek says Terrifier ends. It was just Corey.
No.
No. God, no. And BK wants to know, did they age 5 years? Yes. Most of the main characters, any of the main characters that do return, age 5 years. I don't know if Art did or Victoria did.
It's no way to tell.
Yeah, that'd be difficult.
I have thoughts on that, but again, it's kind of bit revealing. So,
now we did mention that Victoria gets out of the asylum with him and kind of becomes his partner in crime in a way. Now,
do we want to say this?
Somebody else mentioned it. Yeah, hit the alert since you're on that page. Yeah. Hit the alert. Let me see if I can find who said this. I want to say it was Bill way back here. There we go. All right.
Oh, Bill spoiling things. Big shocker.
Nope. No little pale girl.
Right.
No.
But isn't it? It's explained.
It is?
Oh, yes.
Yes, it is explained.
Okay. I did step out at least once watching this because it was getting long.
All right. Here's my
I missed that.
Here's my theory. Yeah, here's my theory on this. And I'm just going to... The pale girl's not there. She's now Victoria. And Victoria is the demon or this entity, whatever it is from hell. Art is kind of the minion killer here, man. It's weird. I mean,
okay.
He's if there's a novelization about Terrifier, and it even says even he's surprised that he woke up alive in that body bag from his perspective. So we know he's supernatural, and it's pretty clear to me that the demon is kind of steering him or just enjoying what he was before he died, and they're just kind of running along and, both doing fucking crazy, sadistic, fucked up things.
Yeah, well, I have a problem. That's another thing I kind of had a problem with the story. So yes, the pale girl was essentially a demon. transferred to Victoria, possessed her, essentially commits suicide at Art's lair. Fast forward, now it's just a demon running a fucking corpse, essentially. They do explain it, like Zach said, Art's kind of like their minion, because he was like one of the most perfect serial killers of all time. He was a big fan.
I think they're a big fan, a big appreciation. Let's go. I want to go have some fun with him, and I'm going to have him right with me doing the shit too.
All right, but I'll save my last complaint for when we talk about the end of the movie. That's where my part of that explanation kind of.
Can't wait.
Well, Doc says you guys are right. Leone explained it in an interview. I didn't see it probably, but Pale Girls. It must have been one of those 8,000 bloody disgusting articles that got released over the last 3 months. Pale Girl is a demon. She inhabited Victoria at the asylum. Essentially, I think he's trying to say, Victoria and Pale Girl are the same person. All right.
This is what I took. Now, listen, I avoided every trailer, every teaser. I did not see one thing leading up to Terrifier 3. I went in fucking cold because I didn't want to get tipped on anything.
Right.
And that's what that meant to me. So,
right. Okay.
That's
kind of what I was assuming too, but I'll tell you what, man. One of the highlights of 2 was Little Pale Girl. I thought that girl nailed it. And she was
surprised.
She was fun. She was creepy. There are people that are dressing up as her.
Oh, yes.
Come
on, any little girl is going like, oh, yes, I'm doing a Pale Girl.
So I'm shocked that he ditched that for Victoria.
I'm not, because
it doesn't. You can have 2 demons, asshole.
Oh yeah, you can. But I think that's it's so specific. It's only controlling one entity at a time, and it's about the demon now. We're probably going to see the real form in the next movie. I would suspect the actual what it looks like because of how this ends.
All right. And this is an interesting take. Bethany says, I think Victoria dies in the bathtub. Then the demon takes completely over after the hibernation.
Interesting.
But
that's pretty much what I kind of said, though, in different words, but with the same thing.
Well,
I'm with Bethany 100% on that one.
She's that crazy then before killing herself?
I think the demon's already in, but it can take full control. So she died kind of like Art.
Okay. Man. All right.
Yeah, remember the pill. Right. So she was already dead. Like, that's why I'm with Bethany on that one. I think that's dead.
Nice, Colonel. Nicely done, because that actually fills in some of that. What the fuck is this all about with this suicide? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. I'm with you on that. That's my new take on this. I'm going with that.
All right. Who wants to move on with the story? Go ahead. Colonel Ziggy? Colonel? Colonel.
All right. Well, here we are. We see Sienna, I'm tired. I want to say Sierra, but Sienna. I don't know why Sierra wanted to come out. We catch up with her 5 years later. She meets her uncle at her loony bin that she's been living in, and she's coming home for Christmas. She can't wait to see her little cousin. She's so excited.
Yep.
Oh, she's so excited.
Her brother's at college.
Yeah, and don't even get me started on how little of a fucking role he had. But yeah, then we're introduced to the new family, her extended family, her aunt, uncle, and like I said, cousin.
Gabby. Yeah, cousin Gabby.
And they're all fun, all Christmassy. And this is kind of off topic, but damn, did it get a little tiring hearing Christmas music through the entire fucking movie, even with the dialogue going?
Yes.
That's a little overkill.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just having a good old time, baking cookies, listening to music, and just.
And I love that we're just bringing mystery family people out of the blue to fill in the gaps of this story.
Right.
Well, it's fucking dead in their family. Mom's dead, dad's dead, they're all dead.
I don't think you needed those extra characters at all. You could have dealt with her and Jonathan. just trying to get through.
Yeah.
Had to have a couple extra people to get
you
whacked.
did it. You did it because you wanted another sympathetic little girl that was going to get tortured, basically, for the shock value.
Pretty much.
You didn't do it for the purpose of the story. You did it for the shock value.
That's the reason I would say, yeah.
I disagree. I think it was for the story. It played a main role in the story.
Yeah.
We'll get to. I mean, was it 100% necessary? No, of course it wasn't.
I mean, it could have been college students at the college, at Jonathan's college, like that happens too. But it could have been them. It could have been people at the hotel where Sienna is staying while she's trying to reconnect with her brother. It could have been that. It didn't have to be, Uncle Bob, out of the fucking blue.
Needed some more body count, man.
And you could have still had that, but that bothered me. I don't know why, but it bothered me.
It didn't bother me too much, I don't think. I bought it. I was like, okay, sure. That's some family still has compassion. Let's get her out. Great. I can go with this. I can accept this. This is reality to me. Colonel?
No, I back you 100% on that. I was fine with it. I've seen worse plot holes and storylines and fucking.
That was easy to swallow, I thought. Yeah, that wasn't a problem at all for me. It seems like we've seen that before. This kind of scenario.
I'm sure we have, but I'm sure it irritated the hell out of me then too. So, because I know I've already said it, but it's more lazy writing, I think. Maybe not lazy writing, but not the best. Not the best writing.
It gave.
I could picture my family doing this.
I can't say you're wrong, but to me, it was a good point to give Sienna something to fight for.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. I'll ride with you on that.
It's also should be mentioned that Sienna and Jonathan both are severely traumatized, so to the point of medicated. So, and therapy.
Patricia even brought this up and we're at that point, so let's talk about it. She says, I enjoyed the PTSD imagery. We never really see that in horror movies.
Yeah.
No, we don't see the imagery. I mean, we've seen the effects that PTSD has had on certain characters over time, namely Laurie Strode in the Halloween 2018 version, the Blumhouse.
While it doesn't get mentioned, Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie was very heavily.
Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie as well. Several others, sure.
Chris Higgins,
yeah. We could play this game all night, but we're not going to.
Yeah.
6 degrees of PTSD.
And yeah, it was okay. Let me ask you this question: Did Lauren sell it? Phase. I'm starting with Phase.
Go ahead, buddy.
Who sell it? Lauren?
Did Lauren Rivera as Sienna sell the PTSD as an actress?
As an actress, yes. In the script, not really. It's a weird mix of. If it was written better, she would, it would have been a lot better. But she would have acted the fuck out of it if it was written better, But it was very forced. Every scene where she was, it was a very clunkily written PTSD. She acted it out really well, yeah.
Okay.
But that's my thoughts.
Okay. Ziggy?
100% disagree.
Damn it. I completely agree because I did.
Wow, man. Dude, she fucking petrified, frozen fear. Tear falls out of her fucking eye.
Well, like I said, acted very well.
That was fucking fear. That is PTSD. Fuck that. You guys are wrong on this.
I'm not talking about her reaction. I'm talking about the visions she's seeing and like when she's seeing them and why. It's forced.
I'm just saying like her reaction. You asked if
the reaction's fine.
She said like that. I think she did it exactly what it would be. I thought she nailed it.
So this isn't me really necessarily disagreeing with you, FaZe, but was it forced in Friday Part 5 when Tommy kept seeing Jason's visions of Jason? I compare it to that. I mean, I don't know enough about PTSD to say if it was written well or not. I thought Lauren acted her ass off for it. Yes,
she did okay. She did okay with it, I thought. Yeah,
but like I said, I'm not an expert.
It wasn't really as bad.
Huh?
The scripting wasn't as bad in Friday Part 5 though. Like it's
It's
kind of like going off.
I wouldn't, but there's probably other people that argue with that. That's a fair statement.
That's
but
fair.
I mean, I still likened it to that when she's seen her dead friend at the fucking dinner table.
Jesus Christ!
Like I said, it was believable, but like I said, I'd never experienced PTSD. Oh, so spoiler alert!
Right.
It was already kind of touched, so I can't say if it was written bad, but I do kind of feel like it was written by someone like me, may not have be enough of an expert on the disorder or however you want to say it.
None of you guys have seen a panic attack in public ever? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Oh, I've had one.
I've had panic attacks. I can't write it.
But
I guess we just agree to disagree on this one.
I mean, you're just missing the point. My point, I guess. But that's
yeah.
fine.
I think you guys. Well, Ziggy at least is missing the point. But
you said, did she depict being traumatized?
Did she sell it?
She put it off. Yes.
Did she sell it?
She sold it. Yes.
But FaZe's description is not saying she didn't.
Okay.
He's saying the writing didn't portray it very well.
Reality, fear, like I don't know, man. I mean, that's a fuzzy fine line right there, man.
I'm just gonna say I bought it, but again, I'm not I don't know. I'm not an expert. All I know is the panic attacks I've had. So
sure.
I thought it was okay. And she did a fine enough job with what she was given, but that was a good. I'm glad FaZe kind of phrased it the way he did because that's pretty close to what I felt.
Patricia says here she's trying to act normal so she doesn't go back to the hospital. That's definitely very true. She was definitely trying to hide it and mask it, like they're saying. There are a lot of good points here. Bethany was saying that.
When she tells Jonathan on the phone, and then his voice immediately goes shaky and shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck.
He did good too.
Yeah.
He did well too.
That switch does get flipped when he realizes, something is up.
I'll say this though, but the writing for him is better than it is for her, though, in that respect.
That's true. They don't spend as much time with him, though.
They don't, but anyway. Tarek says...
Okay, go ahead.
Tarek says, good take from FaZe. Good acting can be combined with bad scripting. And there's a part 2 to this. She can nail it, and the writing still not be great for her. Now, I don't know if this is just because... I mean, I thought the writing in 2 was a lot better for Lauren.
But that's what this is. This is a continuation of filling her out as a final girl, giving her fucking wings, so to speak. That's what this is.
I get it, but it's somebody. I can't remember who posted it earlier. I think it was Adam. Don't quote me on that, but I think Adam said something earlier, and that he felt like this script was rushed, and even the full production was rushed.
Well, fuck it. He got it out in less than a year, what? Actually,
no, it's been
15
2
months.
years.
2 years.
September. 2 years?
2 years. Yeah.
2 years since Terrifier 2.
22 it came out?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, yeah.
Oh, I guess it would be because they shot, then they did the thing. Yeah, you're right. But still, I mean, that's still pretty fucking quick.
All right. Let's move on with some of the other parts of Act 2 here. Discuss some of that. Just pick and choose, Ziggy, wherever you want to start.
Act 2. I mean, yeah, we meet, Jonathan's college roommates, and there's a podcaster that he's kind of necking with when he walks into his dorm, and she's
on the reg.
Of course, she.
Damn, Colonel, fuck.
Mia is her name, by the way.
Yeah.
And
yes, she's got a podcast about serial killers and murders and true crime. So she's dying to get Jonathan on the show, and that's kind of her motivation. And she'll go to any means to do this.
Yes, she will.
Yeah. But so you get to meet them, and he doesn't want to talk about it, man. He is trying his hardest just to move the fuck on from it, and he just can't. Everywhere he turns, there's a reminder, and him too, popping the pills to try to stay, regular. So
now FaZe brought up an interesting thing about Mia. I want him to explain this because.
Please.
Oh yeah, last night we were talking.
Yeah, because you'd made a comment, and I wasn't exactly sure what you were talking about because I had missed, this was one of the sections of the movie I missed. But
I mean, she just for God's sake, we already kind of talked about the toxic Terrifier fan base, and they kind of make a nod to that when I can't remember if it was the podcast, if it was Mia talking or somebody else talking about Mia, but they were talking about the people who are obsessed with the Art the Clown story, within this, movie universe, because there's a very large fan base of Art the Clown in this universe, and they are described as very toxic and very overwhelming and just kind of crazy. Very similar to the, Terrifier, I don't need to say it. It's I saw it as Damien Leone making a nod to his own fandom, just being like, "Hey,
fuck, man,
you guys are being a bit much."
The Colonel and I are also thrown out of the Art the Clown Appreciation Society.
You guys aren't doing this.
Damn, don't get me kicked out.
That's why I'm trying not to say too much here, but we already have treaded those waters anyway, so it's like
I'm out. So
there are a few good apples.
I'm not even in there. I don't give a shit.
They're not all crazy. They're all
like I said. There's a few good apples. A lot of bad.
Of course there are.
Yeah,
and like every fan base, just they're sticking out a little bit, and it's so much so that even their own creator had to kind of call them out a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to be at Scarefest, man. So we'll stop by and acknowledge that we're there, and maybe we can get Crank reinstated.
Oh my God.
Good luck.
Maybe not after the score. I don't know.
No, probably not. Not if any of them are still watching. No, I'm pretty positive a few of these clips are going to get shared in that group, and I'll get ragged on, which is fine.
Garrett makes a really good point here.
Some other
it does depend on who had control of the script, if it really was Damien or somebody else in the studio that had control of it for the final product, because anybody could have written that, I suppose, depending on how many hands were on the script.
They've said from day one, Cineverse has at least, and Bloody Disgusting and Screambox and all those little entities that he's got full creative control. It's his movie from top to bottom.
He told the Hollywood money to go fuck themselves, man. I mean, he doesn't need him. He really doesn't need him now. I mean,
we'll talk about that afterwards, but keep going here. Talk about the rest of the story here. I will say this. I did like Mia and Cole, I think was his name, the roommate and
it's like
the girlfriend.
Biff. It's probably a lacrosse player. He's not quite big enough to be a football player, but lacrosse, maybe baseball.
You're right, lacrosse for sure.
Definitely lacrosse, yeah.
We should probably
I was thinking
move on to
pickleball.
Pickleball.
I was thinking he was more of a pickleball player, but
he's not one of those dickhead Biffs, though. He's kind of like the cool Biff. Obviously, he's kind of taking Jonathan under his wing. He's looking out for him. I don't know how much
in a way, but in one of those weird brotherly ways, like
he'd be trying
to,
getting him laid, getting him beers and stuff like that. That's how it would be. But he's not a bad guy, But he's like any other college fucking Biff, though. He just wants to get laid and get drunk. Yeah, Biff is the word, man.
I'm gonna start using that on Wednesdays when all the Biffs show up for karaoke. I'm just calling them all Biff. They'll have no fucking idea.
How you doing, Biff?
What's up, Biff? The fuck does that mean?
Just call me a Biff?
Shit, man. All right, Colonel, where are we at now? We're
back
to his roommates.
He's his roommates. Like I said, we're caught up on where everybody's at. But where's Art? He's on the
Oh,
move.
yeah.
Folks. And this is probably definitely far from my favorite kill, but probably my favorite scene in the movie. Ours is that spoiler from here on out. Fuck it. That Pandora's
Yeah, you might
box
as well.
open.
Yeah.
Like, we've already done it. Art's, he made some new toys. He's out walking out about, comes across a bar, looks in, and probably a guy that stole the fucking show, Daniel Roebuck, dressed as Santa with girls on his lap. Clint Howard in there, and he
Dude,
all excited, and he runs in the bar like, oh, Santa. Obviously, he's not talking. But the scene just gets more awkward and awkward as it goes. And I love every second of it. It even gets to the point where Art's sitting on his lap and takes a piss on him.
It's a great scene, man. That's a great scene.
It's a great scene. We get 2 lazy kills, but a flashback to Terrifier 1, which I get. And then Daniel Roebuck's death is awesome.
Pretty good.
But then again, it's just him. He stole the fucking show for me. Out of anybody that was a side character,
Right.
A+++, man. He was so
fun.
fucking funny.
I thought Clint Howard just adding on to his jokes, that got me cackling, dude. That shit, he was so fucking funny, man.
Dude, I want to sit in the bar with Clint Howard and Daniel Roebuck and just swap stories or listen to them swap stories, because that would be a fucking blast. I think Roebuck
legitimately enjoys this horror fucking realm and these movies he's in now, dude. He's he's rapidly becoming an icon around here.
Well, I really enjoyed his conversation on Talk Scary to Me a few months back with Danielle and Scout. They had some fun, but they also talked about some serious topics and issues and things. And no. But that was probably one of the best scenes by far.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
And well written. That was one of the better written scenes. I'll leave it at that. Keep going, Colonel. You're doing great.
No. It's just, I kind of spoke through the scene fairly quickly, but it's okay, there's your explanation. Here's where he gets the Santa suit. Mm-hmm. I love the fact when those drunk girls are running up the fucking steps and they cross past him, they're like, ew. That was funny. Like I said, I just appreciate good humor, especially in a horror film. Good humor that's well timed and well paced, and this scene was everything I wanted.
Would you say the humor is a little better and a little more on point this time around than it was in 2?
Most definitely, because 2 had some funny parts, but there was a lot of exposition around it that kind of brought it down. This was strictly, here's how Art gets a Santa suit. Let's make it as funny as fucking possible.
In that scene, the humor was great, and then a lot of what Art does, outside of just the straight kills, pretty funny stuff, but dragged a little bit, even in this movie. So, but I thought the bar scene is one of the best.
Yeah, even David's mannerisms for Art in that scene are the best mannerisms in the entire fucking film. It was just so good. If I could just go back and watch that scene, I'd be happy. I'd be okay. This is, and I know they pushed that scene when they were doing promotions for it, and that's the best promotion they could have done, because you're showing the best scene in the entire fucking movie.
Yeah.
If I just seen that would make me want to go see Terrifier 3.
All right. Cool.
Can't really say
we need to speed up a little bit through.
I
the
know,
rest of
we gotta talk about a whole nother movie here.
We gotta do another fucking flick here, man.
Let's have a short film next, essentially.
Right.
Just go to Act 3 and scores here.
Well, I'm watching the clock, so
so
go Ziggy.
Let me see here. I got it. So Art, he gets the Santa suit. Presumably dispatches what we see in the opening scene, and then
stops by the mall.
He
stops by the mall. Right. This is where Roebuck was. Right.
No, Roebuck was at
that wasn't even. It was a different Santa.
That wasn't his mall.
This was a regular mall Santa.
Yeah, regular mall Santa, and then he goes to take a break or a piss break or something, and Art fucking just right out.
Isn't there a scene though before that where Sienna sees art at the mall?
Yes,
No.
then he has a Santa mask over.
Yeah, he's on his way
He gets
there to
hotel
the Santa
films.
court. Yeah, to the Santa court. He's on his way, and then that's where this whole panic attack thing happened
Right.
that we don't seem to see on, but I don't know. And yes, and then they get the fuck out of there. That's when she calls Jonathan. Hey, he's back. I saw him. And like while that's all happening, they're away from the mall. He gets into the Santa chair, but it's Art's face. He takes the fucking mask off, and he's got the suit. And then like, he's got a bag of shit there, and the kids was like, hey, Santa's giving away presents. So he's handing out all the shit out of his bag, and there wasn't really much crazy stuff coming out of there, was it? It was
No,
dolls.
it was a doll, a
actual
football.
legit toys.
Yeah.
Like, except
Well,
for
that wasn't his bag. That was the other Santa's bag.
Oh, right. Yes. And then
right.
he gets into his own bag, and this kid, he kind of noses around there. Maybe it's out of presents, and he gets into Art's bag and pulls out this nicely wrapped present, and he starts to unwrap it. Did we say it?
Oh, we did it because I laughed out loud because it was so fucking diabolical. I was like,
Oh, it was a
oh
fucking-
nice.
Bomb goes off, man, and blows everybody the fuck up in the mall. It's fucking sick. It's horrible. It's deplorable.
Like 7 dead and what they say, 7 or 6 dead and 8 injured or something like that.
Bunch of kids all dead.
Yeah.
Blown up. It's just
The audio mixing is really good. Like the mother screaming felt like really real.
Yeah, that was
Like it
pretty
really
good.
sounded like a mother screaming about her son getting blown up. Like it was horrified. Like it's like fuck.
yeah, it's cringy, man.
There we go. Jeff says, Leone says, fucking kid.
A lot of kids die in these movies, man.
He sure did, man.
He did in this movie.
So
He
I don't know.
also wasn't very nice to a certain strain of animal at one point.
Yeah, fuck, man. My mom would be horrible. Fucking
yeah.
pissed.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I was even like cringing a little bit, like, ugh, geez, they're getting a little gross with this.
They even took oh god, I didn't even think
And
of
that's
that, man.
there's a part later too that I'm just like,
You
must
did
have-
not see
Ugh.
this movie. You're a band officially. I mean, that's right. I forgot about the device and everything. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
They're cute too, man. They picked some cute fucking. I'll just say it, they're rats. There's some cute fucking rats, man. And because she says Patricia already told her, and I'm like, they fuck them up, man. It is fucked up what they do to these rats. It's like, ugh. It's like if you like rats, you're gonna be a little grossed out by that.
It's
Yep.
pretty bad, man.
It's pretty
If you're
rough.
Any kind of animal friendly, this movie's not for you, I don't think.
I winced a little
I
bit.
was okay with it because they were obviously fake.
That's
Oh,
what I was
yeah.
well, the ones
not
that
really doing it.
the ones that are torn apart are, but the ones
Yeah.
that come out later, covered in stuff, those were real.
Well, yeah, but that's well. You can wash them with Dawn soap. Like it takes off the BP oil spill. It will take.
I'm not too worried about the dirty ones. It's just like,
You kidding me? Those fucking rats made more money than I did this year. What are you kidding? That's crazy.
Sick.
Fucking
That-
professionals, man.
probably.
Possibly. So a mall sighting, the mall bombing,
And
that pretty much brings us to Act 3, I
bring
think.
them to they realize he's here. We've got to get the sword.
Even though I
sword.
did, we're doing the PTSD thing real quick before we touch on it. This is where Mia's her name, correct?
Yes.
Meets her at the
Oh,
fucking
yes.
food court somewhere. It's like, oh, I would love to have you on my podcast. And Sienna just loses her fucking shit.
I want to talk about that too, because Mia says it's almost been 5 years, right? Or it's almost been 5 years since that happened. So,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wait a minute. Is it almost 5 years or 5 years and 2 months? Because last I checked the calendar, Christmas is after Halloween, correct?
I think she was just being an insensitive bitch and didn't know and doesn't care about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Specifically.
Or
The script was
it
a
could-
little bit clunky.
or it could be another script continuity issue.
Did
I
you
don't
feel what I'm
know.
saying, Colonel? Feeling it?
I'm feeling it. Again, this is not a knock on FaZe or Frank.
No.
They're bitching about continuity in a horror film. We love
Yes.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
And-
man.
I mean, it's tough,
That's
but
a
you can
reasonable
still.
argument.
It's tough. You can still continuity most of Friday the 13th up until like 9.
I immediately took it as like, Jesus, this bitch, she's doing this podcast. Huh, good thing we're not doing an interview. You should do your fucking research.
Oh my god.
That's the way I took it. That's the way I took it.
That's what it felt like. Oh my god,
dude.
I didn't think of that.
Did we tell David that story?
Oh shit.
Probably.
I don't know.
That story to fucking anybody that's willing to listen. All you gotta do is say the word Billy, and he's like,
looking at
Billy,
that fucking angle. That makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. Again, I didn't have an issue with them being off by being off by 2 months.
I did.
She's a fucking sorority chick at a Catholic fucking college. Like it's
his fucking baby. It's Leone's fucking baby. It's his fucking script. He should know.
I will say, if you're that obsessed about something, because they said they're like a true crime podcast. They're always thinking about these things. They're always researching and reading about. In her case, Art the Clown and the serial killings and shit. She would be familiar with when it makes more sense for Mia to have said, I know it's been 5 years and 62 days since this happened, like down to the fucking day, down to the minute, like 14 hours and 52 minutes. Like,
right? It makes more sense for that.
Fuck about it. She's an insensitive asshole that wants to fucking
she is.
News. That's it.
She's obsessed with the murders, though.
Yes,
she represented the toxic fan base and a toxic press too,
and it works. But all right, keep going. Sorry,
I didn't think these interpretations would be so different, man. It's
I'm
crazy.
all fucking track now. But no, it's a good way to show the difference between Sienna and Jonathan. Yes, they're both medicated. She's still fucking losing it, and just that's all she thinks about. As where Jonathan, he's younger, he's trying to live life. But I just also hate the fact that he played such a minor role in this.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was a very huge disservice to that character.
Yep.
I agree with that.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, seriously? Like, Jonathan was an afterthought. Like, oh, shit, I got to write a part for Elliot to get him in this movie. All right, well, there you go.
Okay, finally, somebody else complaining about the writing besides me and FaZe.
No, I complained a little
Well,
bit.
I know what this is. That's
I'm
why
not being sniffler
this is
like
not
you
a
guys.
target of writing.
I don't know, but so yeah, we'll fast forward
A little bit, yeah.
we should. Yeah, it's getting.
It's getting late.
Almost, yeah.
Like I'll just say, they kill him off screen. That's how much of an afterthought he is.
Yeah, like the last time you see him alive, he's sleeping.
Still shocking, though.
Do we?
Yeah, that's what I remember.
But that tells me that's not him. I don't think that skull is Jonathan.
Oh,
that's
skull. Yeah, I don't know who that's supposed to be.
I mean, that's a common thing to do. If you don't see him die, they're coming back in the next movie.
That's true. Anna was. Like I said, there was no only. These are the only way to say, look, you killed Jonathan. So you guys.
I wasn't gonna say, but I mean, there's a personal item. Yeah, I mean, that kind of connects it. But
like I said, I mean, we all know Art was at the college because so he could easily stole his glasses after Art was Art at his finest when it comes to killing.
Oh, baby.
The sorority house.
Yes.
The fraternity house.
Dude.
Just the whole scene, like even when she's like, before we even get to the kill, she's trying to convince her boyfriend, got to get him on the podcast and Art the Clown, how big a fan she is. He's like, God, you act like you'd fuck him or something. She's like, oh no. And he goes, I just thought that was so fucking funny, man. But yes, the shower scene. This is the scene, I assume.
This is the shower. Yeah, the shower scene is the scene.
That was disappointing. Granted, I think it was the best kill scene in the movie, but man, comparing to the scene in 1 and 2, I kind of feel like it's a step back in shock value.
I don't know because he mauled quite a bit of nasty bits.
But that was shock value for shock value. I know.
All these movies.
Movie?
All these movies are shock value for shock value.
Yeah, but he already kind of did that once, so now we're doing it again with a member of the opposite sex. I was like, and he had a harder time with a fucking chainsaw than he did a handsaw.
Yeah,
That's true.
So yeah, this is the scene, people. This is where you see it all. Fucking dick, balls, ass.
You're gonna be holding on to your
Side
shit
boob.
this scene.
Like,
If you're male or female, it don't matter.
that guy was in the shower. He should have washed his dick while he was in there.
Yeah, he should watch his dick first.
Oh, something else has
No.
happened to his dick.
Now he's sick.
But
Dude.
he washed his dick in the wrong sink to not get sick, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
he was
girlfriend's
winking
mouth.
at
Mia's
his
mouth.
pinky.
These are some high quality chainsaw attacks in this scene. Like there's like half of fingers and hands that get taken off, and it's fucking wild, man. It's something I didn't like about Terrifier 2 was some of the effects, like the mannequins looked like mannequins, very stiff, very. These things got skin and flex, and the blood is right, and
The effects look a ton better in this.
They're
Holy
better, yeah.
shit.
I mean, night and day. And I don't remember who it was, but Leone wasn't in charge of the special effects this time. I'm sure he
yeah.
supervised it, but he did actually hire somebody to do the actual work this time. So
It was confirmed
Commendable.
that Damien crafted them. He can, conceive them all.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. But why the fuck not? I mean, if you can get it to look like that.
And it looked great.
Oh, it did
fantastic.
look great. Like I said, I don't know. I just don't know why I was so disappointed by it. Like I still enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I was like, yeah, but just thinking about it, because again, I haven't seen it since Thursday. Just thinking about it, I'm like, even with the stiff mannequin, the scene in part 2 with the bleach and the salt. And,
That those
Yeah.
two were good. I mean, not all the scenes were like that.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of salt spilling in this one, which that you know what that feels like, because you grab like a French fry with an open cut on your hand or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that. You've
no,
been like,
it's-
oh Jesus Christ, so you can feel that. I've never. I'm just going to speak for myself, not you three fine gentlemen, but I've never had a chainsaw shoved up my ass, so I don't know what that feels like.
Dude, just
well, there was that one time in Tijuana a few years ago.
Yeah, I saw the video. I don't want to talk. We don't need to talk about that.
just watching nuts fucking get twirled up in a fucking chainsaw, dude, and the insides out and outsides in, and the dick comes rolling in, man, and it's fucking not good.
It's not good. But I thought the ball crushing scene in Maxine
Much
That
more,
was
much better.
Yeah.
better.
That was
more
more
like for like a pain aspect as a
Yeah.
male in the audience. I was like, that one. I was like, oh fuck.
Well,
This one I was like, oh, but it just didn't.
because you felt a good kick to the balls once in your
Yeah.
life, at least, so you could amplify what that felt like and feel it here
Right.
and there. But again,
No, they
I
made
haven't had a
this.
chainsaw on my balls.
You made this. They made that. You would never ever want to be in that predicament where you were getting chainsawed and like the cuts into the flesh, into the ass, into the fucking taint, the whole thing, man. It was a bit. It was. I felt like it was a nice throwback to one where with the hanging upside down gal and the hacksaw. But I mean, it was just as intense, just as good as that. I thought just as good.
That's where I disagree with you a little bit. I do appreciate it, and I did enjoy it. It was a great fucking kill.
Oh yeah,
To me, it just is like, again, all right, we're recycling this. Just
Well, he gets the girl, too.
more in depth. Well, he gets
Yeah,
the girl too. I found that one to be a little more gruesome. Like
As a whole, the whole scene, the whole though of it.
I think that's why that's the scene,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's no genital is left unharmed in the
Oh,
making
God.
of this production. Speaking of, Jeff says, "Do you think his mentality on showers is tainted now?" I'll see myself out.
Fucking, I love Dog's comment too.
Good
Maybe
Jeff.
that's how I should do my prostate exams next time.
Right? Yeah.
it'd be
Jesus.
easier to get a look instead of a feel.
Yeah. The shower scene was great. For what it was. I agree with Colonel. I don't think it holds a candle to 2.
Well, no, that scene is
Yeah.
just the fact that the length of it is just the brutality of it.
This
I
one's
don't-
pretty lengthy too. Maybe not.
don't
They don't
think-
go away and come back to it though.
I don't think these were as brutal as other ones, but they're still very, very, very traumatizing and disturbing in the Terrifier way.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they are memorable. So it is good. I don't have a problem with them making it a similar thing to what they did before because there's so many other ways to do shit like this. So.
Sure.
And we didn't get balls and labia rolling around in the hacksaw like we did here. Oh,
No, but we did get a dick
What?
decapitation in 2. So again, that's why I'm like, it feels recycled. Looks great, fun to watch. Just
What is the uvula? Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, this,
it's just sad. Art did all that, and he still couldn't find the clip. Dude.
Oh my god.
very good.
nice. The Greek, but I feel like the Greek house was a scene that could have been a lot of fun too. If they're having a fucking party there, we really only see those two, right?
Mhm.
Right, yeah, because we had just like Freddy in part 2 at the barbecue, man. He had a
That
whole
could have been a blast.
uh-huh.
I think that
True.
I don't know if they just didn't have the budget for it or something, maybe, but I think that's a missed opportunity. Who am I kidding? The budget, but throw another $50 and let's shoot that, you know. So, anyway, after the Greek house, where do we go, guys?
It's kind of like the heads for the final showdown. Like Jonathan gets back and they realize they got to get ready. And she gets the sword.
She has it wrapped up in a Christmas
In a
box,
present,
though, and hides it kind of behind the Christmas tree. Oh, foreshadowing.
Yes.
So, go ahead, keep going.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. We're getting to be where it's. I'm trying to think how they came in there attacking.
Well,
They
they
were
sent
just in the fucking house, man.
yeah,
Like,
they sent the dad or
Yes.
the brother. They sent the brother to go get Jonathan, and he never showed up. And
Remember, we
then
got the phone call where the voice is all fucked up, like in 2. Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
right, and then yeah, I can't even really remember. I'll be honest, I've forgotten a lot of this movie since I saw it on Saturday.
So anyway,
They
yeah,
just show up and start wreaking havoc.
yeah, they show up and start killing. You know,
And it's both of them. It's Art
Oh,
and
yeah.
Victoria.
Art and Victoria, and Victoria is saying some vile demon shit that she's clearly seasoned in this kind of torment and torture and stuff like this. So that's again further proof that, yeah,
Right. Before we get into that, and I want to unleash you on your a topic I think you want to talk about, because we kind of skipped over a scene between Sienna and Jonathan about like the demonology behind Art and everything that takes place in like the chapel of, it wasn't a hospital, but where is this
I
chapel?
think
Is
it
it
was
in
at the, I think it was
in
at
the college?
campus. Yeah, I think it was
yeah,
on
campus. It's on the
Maybe,
campus.
yeah.
all right.
Well, that's something that, I mean, Terrifier, it's definitely taking a kind of that biblical turn into connecting it to religion, heaven and hell.
Well, and there was stuff throughout the whole movie. I mean, Jonathan,
Yeah.
like I said, essentially goes to a Catholic college. There's religious sayings on like every wall if you're paying attention. Like I said, my second, not saying it's a bad thing. Like my literally second message about this movie was very Catholic.
Right.
You can just tell he grew up Catholic. That's just literally all I mean by that. It's very heavily set in that. Let's be honest, Catholicism, like it is just.
Well,
Which means
based
not there's anything wrong with that. Just for
I'm
not
not-
take that out of context.
It's
I'm not gonna-
interesting.
I'm not going to read this comment out loud, but I'm going to show it to you guys, and then
Victoria? I can just imagine one of the twins doing homework going,
huh? So we got to talk about Victoria a little bit more in a little bit.
That's
Yeah.
right. Victoria.
Go ahead. Put that down, Victoria.
Sorry, Zach. I leave the floor back to you.
No. It's okay. We're having a battle, and Sienna is kind of secured. She gets batted down
Sienna
with
gets,
a hammer. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
Sienna gets tied up.
Texas Chainsaw style almost.
Mhm.
And then, oh boy,
Gabby.
it's Gabby, the little one.
Mhm.
She's kind of hiding out. Yeah, she's hiding under the the cabinet. Oh boy, I can't wait.
No, you're getting mixed. You're getting. You're so getting. You're getting this.
Go ahead, Colonel. Take it, man.
The little girl in the beginning of the movie is hiding in the cabinet.
Yeah,
Sienna gets knocked out. She comes to. She's tied to a chair, sitting across from her aunt, her mother's sister.
yes.
And Victoria and Art have Gabby.
Mhm.
There you go. You're good.
There you go.
Victoria and Art have Gabby, right? And
That's when all the vile shit just
they do horrible
coming out.
things. Yeah, they do horrible things to Auntie and take her out. You know
I still fucked up.
what?
X that out. They didn't show Gabby till after they killed Gabby's mom.
well,
Actually, they're kind of hiding there a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And is that when we find out that Jonathan is dead? It's a little bit after that, I
They
think.
reveal
Right
it somewhere
Right
during
after
this.
that,
Yeah.
right after that. So yes, so Auntie's dead. The demon says Jonathan's dead. They put the glasses on the skull. It was wrapped up like a present. They make Gabby unwrap it.
You mean Victoria makes Gabby
Victoria.
unwrap it?
Victoria makes Gabby unwrap it. And then they say it's Jonathan. How does she work? Boy, help me out
Sorry.
here.
I'm just envisioning what's going on in Mexico right now.
Do what?
All this
Oh,
Victoria stuff is messing it all up.
Yeah. So
Paula even says, I'm cracking up at her reactions over here.
yeah, and Jeff brings it up too to kind of get it going along. So while Victoria's doing her whole Bond villain spiel,
Yeah.
Art is walking around smacking Sienna in the back of the head every time he walks by her, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And then Gabby, being the smart little cookie that she is like, well, let her open her present first. Which they're like, which one? Like the one in the back with the angel wrapping paper.
Mm.
So Sienna opens it very slowly because Art bashed the fuck out of her hands. They're all jacked up.
But she could still use them somehow.
Yeah. Then
For the rest
sword
of the
brought-
fucking movie.
Yeah. So the sword's brought out, and then here we are at our final showdown. Victoria was dispatched fairly quickly, from what I remember.
Victoria was?
Yeah, I know she was
Victoria.
fighting Art, but Victoria,
Beheaded.
beheaded, much like Art and Terrifier 2.
Seems
she
to
tried
be the
to-
way to defeat these demons.
Yeah, and they have their battle. Of course, Sienna is victorious to an extent.
Victorious?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of words I can try to fit Victoria into.
Meanwhile, Victoria's head is starting to ooze out this toxic ooze, and it's starting to burn into the floor.
And then we get a very Nightmare on Elm Street-ish scene where the floor gives way to a portal to hell.
Yes.
Art has escaped.
Yes.
Sienna tries very hard to save Gabby,
but
fails. Gabby falls into hell. Sienna turns around. Like I said, Art's gone. Next thing you know, we see Art, Santa suitless. I mean, he was Santa suitless in the final scene as well.
Mhm.
Sitting at a fucking bus stop waiting for a bus. He gets on the bus. It's just him, the driver, and one other passenger. And he's all bloody. And she's reading her book. She's looking at him. He smiles. Go to black.
And the name of her book is The Ninth Circle, right?
Yes.
Nice little tie back. By the way.
Little throwback there. So tie it all together. But so there we go. And then
Wait, what happened to Victoria?
Victoria's head was taken and it oozed into the floor. So Victoria was defeated at that point. No more Victoria.
No more Victoria?
Sorry,
No.
Victoria. Sorry.
Victoria-less rest of the movie.
We should guess Victoria
Sienna-
wasn't victorious.
Right.
You guys ever been to Victoria, Texas, by the way?
Oh my God.
Dude, I like Victoria's Secret, but I haven't been to Victoria, Texas. Do you guys remember that movie, Victoria?
Yes.
Yeah. Hell, even the movie Crowley, Victor Crowley was fucking awesome. It'd be better if they had a sequel called Victoria Crowley.
Like the sister.
Paula says she's like a bobblehead over here. And Tarek's like, Jesus Christ, you guys.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
Message coming from Victoria.
Fuck you.
Anyway. Bust
So, yeah,
up.
Yes.
this
Okay.
is where we're left after Terrifier 3. So a semi cliffhanger. Sienna looking into the hole to hell, presumably. It doesn't look cool. It's all foggy and kind of weird lights. You can hear Gabby down there, but
Mm-hmm. And she
What's
loses her sword. Oh, this is the best part. This is the best part. So this is where I did kind of a bit of an eye roll. I was like, so she loses her sword. She looks at her hands, deep cuts because she's grabbing it by the sharp edge, and then magically they heal.
Stigmata.
The stigmata has been healed.
Yeah, I rolled my eyes too. I'm pretty sure I let out at least a semi-audible, like, well, that was basically what my voice message was to you guys. Was the
Well, what are you gonna do? I mean,
it fits the storyline, but still,
Yeah.
And we know
the top of her hands are all fucked.
Yeah.
From the hammer, but if she got cut by the sword, she could heal.
So Jesus can heal the cuts, but can't put the bones together all over her hands?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
This one thing I want to point out real quick while I'm remembering it. It's totally off track, but there's just one scene with Tom Savini where they're watching the news and he's just freaking out. It was really good. I was the only one in the theater to recognize him. I'm like, oh, Tom Savini.
Yeah, that was a good cameo. I got hyped for seeing Tom on there. I was like, oh, Tom Savini, like you.
Oh shit!
It would have been better if he had a switchblade comb. We were like at the end of it, just a little nod to Dawn of the Dead because he was in a mall.
He was in a mall.
Yeah, he was.
Missed opportunity, but that's
He was wearing was he wearing a black jacket? I thought he was wearing like a black jacket, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, but it has to be a leather jacket.
Or he could have gotten in the sidecar of some motorcycle and ridden off through the mall.
Oh my god,
that would have been funny.
That wasn't bad.
Anyway,
So, Terrifier.
the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Well, the end.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we got a 4 coming, probably in a couple more years. So,
18 million point 2. That's
that's good.
grounds for another one. Yep.
Yeah,
they've already said there's another one.
It's great. The and I'm happy for the guys. I am.
Yep.
I'm happy for the entire. We've had 3 or 4 of the team members on the show. I'm glad they're successful.
It's a huge victory for independent film.
Yes,
That too.
Huge.
That too.
Elvira sings her praises too.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, go away, kitty. That's my problem.
Miranda says, meow to you, Elvira.
That's how we knew it ran long. She's like, oh, pay me attention. It's been 2 hours.
Yeah.
But anyway. No, stop.
So anything to say about the conclusion? Or do we just jump into a score and move on to It's Me, Billy for 5 minutes?
10 minutes.
Probably need to give it at least a half hour here, but sorry,
Oh my
Colonel.
god.
It's not like I have an important
We have a whole meeting to do after this.
Okay.
Yeah, just jump to the scores, the final thoughts and scores.
All right. I'll start with Faze on it. No, actually, I'll start with Colonel on it and then go to Faze.
All right. So Terrifier 3, again, I will say probably in my top 2 hyped films for this year. I was that high on it. I did not leave the theater all that disappointed. It was exactly what I expected. My first mention to them was, because a lot of it had to do with like the demonology, the demon stuff, the storyline, how we're getting there. It's like, something to think about. Again, is it perfect? No. But it's a fun ride with great gore. Good enough of a story to keep me entertained and for me not to nitpick it too much. Room for improvement? Yes. Have I ever wrote a script? No. Granted, the person on the crew that's written a script, I give him a pass if he has any script complaints because he's done it. I have not. It like I said, it's just a lot of fun. Exactly what it was. I'll just make it quick so we can get to It's Me, Billy, Chapter 2. Surprisingly, I'm going to give this 8. Oh, get the fuck out of here! Now I am going to say some shit. It's my opinion, God damn it! Sorry,
Nah, you're cool. You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. We're cool. We're cool.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh man.
Jesus, man. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know, man. It was a ride. I enjoyed it too. It's the funny parts were fun. I try not to take the script too seriously because it is just supposed to be a gore fest, but I've been told that there were promises of more explanation and more lore, and all it kind of was just a lot of lazily put together demonology stuff, which is kind of similar to another movie we watched this year, which I don't remember what it's called, but I remember calling it out for the same fucking thing, just being very surface level in that aspect. Like, I don't know. Just try a little harder if you're going to go into the demons. It's not just a pit of fire and just the bare basic shit. I don't know, man.
Phase, real quick. Damien has said, in order to get this thing cut down to, so it wasn't another 2 hour and 40-minute film, there's 5 key scenes he had to cut that he did not want to. That gave some more development and some deeper explanation.
I thought he fine. Wait a minute. I thought he had complete control.
He did it in the name of
not making it 3 hours
long.
long.
It was too fucking long. Yeah, that was too much art to clown. Too much.
Well, maybe I would have edited it a little differently then. I don't know, but it's just
I
think we're gonna get an extended cut though. Eventually. So
probably on the Blu-ray or something.
They were that pivotal to the story. I don't know if those were the scenes I would have cut.
Yeah, I could still cut another 30, 35 minutes out of this film and you not miss hardly anything. Just
right.
I'm not sure what he took.
Shorten out half the shots, or shorten out 70% of the shots. Cut a little bit of dialogue. You don't need a full dinner fucking scene with Sienna showing up at the house that's 10 minutes long.
Sure.
Anyway, I digress. Continue, Pace. Sorry.
But yeah, just it's some of the.
I just wanted to interject that there. That's all.
No, it's fine. And I get that. I didn't know that before, so that's fine to know. So maybe the extended cut will show more if I ever watch that. But it's, I don't know. A lot of people have been saying it already. Like, Damien Leone's not the best screenwriter in the world. I mean, not even. I don't know. He's not that great. And after
Gary mentioned that an hour or so ago. Hot take. I don't think Damien is a very good screenwriter.
In the first couple movies, that's forgivable. But after getting all this criticism after the first couple movies, maybe take a couple classes. I don't want to sound too much of a dick. It's just like, for this being the third movie, I would think that you'd have, gotten a little better at this. And I'm not seeing any improvement in the screenwriting aspect. Gore's great. Seeing all the blood's great. Just, it's the same movie again. It's not improved in my head. I only want to give it a 6. I would give the original like a 7, but just same thing. It's going down to a 6 for me.
All right. Ziggy, do you want to go or do you want me to go? I'll let you close because you probably have the highest praise to give.
Okay.
I was absolutely disappointed in this film. The hype train killed the mood for me. I think I'm going to go back and watch it again at some point, probably right before 4, and see if my number changes. But as I said at the beginning of the show, I'm not a huge fan of these movies. They're okay, but this one is slightly less than okay, and I didn't like the writing. Most of the acting was for lack of a better word. And I really don't need gore for gore's sake. You know, if the gore fits a story, cool. You know, there was a lot of this movie that you didn't need. You didn't need that entire opening scene. You could have just started at the asylum. You didn't need. You could have done the shower scene differently, or at least, you know, extended on that if you wanted to just throw gore in for gore's sake. I could understand if he's in a fucking Greek house. I'm shocked that he just wasted his time and only did 2 kills in there. And it was in the shower. So I don't understand what he's trying to do. Anyway, I like Damien. I love David. Like most of the people that we met from this show, this series. I'm giving it a 4. And that, yeah. Hey,
I believe it.
It's not the worst movie I've seen this year, but it's not much better. And I'm sorry. I just it didn't do anything for me. The fact that I left in the middle to go make a phone call or take a phone call, that's saying something.
That's true. I'll be honest with you. I just think this year's so bad for horror, even in my opinion. Like, it's all my opinion. That's why I gave it an 8. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. This is probably the 3rd most enjoyable film I've seen so far this year.
Oh my god, dude!
It's a fun fucking movie. It's terrifying, man. You know what you're getting.
You're missing a ton. Then, if this is in your top 3,
I don't think I got 20 so far. Most of them were reviewed. I don't watch every release.
Dude, Terrifier's not even in my top 40. So we figured that out earlier.
Well,
so
still though, I mean, it's different inspirations for our lists, of course.
Anyway,
yeah,
Ziggy, wrap it up with this at least.
Damien's no John Carpenter. I don't think anybody's going to accuse him of that. But he did deliver on what he promised. Actually promised me fucking directly. So just about delivering on the questions asked already and answered. Yeah, we got it.
I disagree with that.
It wasn't hard for me to put it together, though. I don't understand this is a pretty linear fucking thing, you know?
Okay.
And I'm hoping this gets wrapped up in with a very cool hell setting somewhere with some cool monsters and stuff. That just could be cool if it goes there. I don't know how much more they can do with Art the Clown, though. Really, beyond the story, you know, I don't see where it can be. I don't know. I don't want to see Art in space. I don't want to see. You know what I mean?
It's been predicted.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the way they're making money off this, they'll get that point.
Yeah, Luke, 10 years we'll have Art the Clown in space.
See, this is something I started to think here, but I thought, since he's a mime and he's mute, it's going to be really hard to go over the top into what Freddy was when he became pop culture's baby. You know what I mean? Yes, Art, the image of Art can absolutely do it, but I just don't see it going ever as cheesy as Freddy went in his movies with the stuff. You know, the kills are still pretty fucked up and violent in the Terrifier series. They've got that going for them. Let's face it, man. This is a grindhouse throwback. This is a fucking slasher throwback. This is the kind of thing every 10 years comes along. Blood Feast, Texas Chainsaw, Halloween, Friday the 13th. All that shit came out, and at their time, they had their time. Terrifier is now that for this generation. Like it or not. I mean, it doesn't have to be a great movie.
Dude, the proof of that is who was in the theaters when we went.
The kids have spoken.
Exactly. That is this generation slasher icon.
I love the fact that you rehearsed this script that you're laying out all week.
Oh, dude, I'm just firing, baby, right from both holes right here with this shit, man. You're not. Oh, fuck you, man. I'm just getting started. But this whole thing, I see it. I still don't know if he's worthy of to stand with Jason and everything. Everybody's going to say he is around here.
Maybe with like the creep from Jeepers Creepers.
Dude, come on now.
That's kind of mean, but
what about Ghostface?
No. Still no.
I put him above Ghostface. I wouldn't put him in the top.
I don't
know if he's more popular than Ghostface.
No, he's
No, I'm
not.
not saying popularity. I'm
He's
talking
not
like
top 4
killer
yet.
wise. If I was ranking,
But this is fucking Grindhouse, man. I think this is influenced by that. It's all of that kind of shit, that sleazy ass shit that they used to make movies like this with these violent exploitation like kills. There's something there, man, and I think there's.
And I wasn't a fan of those.
I get it, but it's because of that, and it's because the gore is so fine in this fucking movie, man. Yeah, has there ever been great story threads? I feel this is just a continuation of Sienna's character to fill her gap, to make her an equal to Art for the final showdown. They had to build her up, and it took 2 fucking movies. So whatever the 4th one, I hate saying that shit that we got to wait to see where they go with it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate this movie, man. I was entertained. I got what I expected from it. And I got really, really good gore. So, I mean, I'm giving Terrifier 3 a 7.5.
All right.
a little shocked that I could come in with the highest score. I thought you'd at least come in at an 8.5.
I gave Terrifier 2 an 8 last year.
So I gave Terrifier 2 a 9. So I did take a step back.
You guys are still on the same level there.
Yeah, I think I gave Terrifier 2 a 6. I think I did 5, 6, 4 is my rankings on the.
Really, I would not rank Terrifier 2 higher than 1 personally. That's the length for me though. That the extra 40 minutes of Terrifier 2 makes it a goddamn like 4.
That's true. But
I think I go 1, 3, 2.
See, I think I go 2, 3, 1. But literally just a few days ago, it went 2, 1, 3. Like it.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. Whether you like it or not, that's our thoughts on
2 hours
on Terrifier 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did ask a question in on YouTube, a poll question about what did you think of Terrifier 3. So far, 53% have said loved it, can't wait for part 4. 13% said it was okay, but part 2 was better. 20% said hated it. And 13% said didn't see it yet. So
38
result. 13 said didn't see it yet. So
you should see it.
There was a little in living color throwback for you for the older people. Hated it.
Naps and a twist.
That drop will be here next week.
Too late now.
It's not timely.
We could use it again for other ratings.
But, you know, I know some of you guys out there love Terrifier. Cool. That doesn't mean I'm going to mock you or distrust your taste in, well, maybe distrust. No, I'm not going to distrust your taste in movies. These guys and I, we do this. This is what we do. We'll argue for 2 hours about some bullshit, and then we'll go and play Friday the 13th for another 2 hours. So,
I'll continue to argue.
Art the Clown is a welcome figure in the slasher serial killer world, and you know, I don't know if he'll ever get up to that level. I mean, if he does 9, 10 fucking movies,
I think, dude, I'm telling you, I think there's gonna be more than 4.
there's going to be
yes, but Damien's off after 4.
There's going to be more, but yeah, Damien either will take a long break or will hand it off. I think somebody was asking about that. But I also don't know if he's going to hand off his baby. So I'm predicting a long break. And when I say long break, he's finally going to get a deal with a studio. And
Terrifier?
No, Terrifier's not. Damien will for some original stuff. He's going to get a deal with a studio. They're going to not perform well, and he'll come back to Terrifier. That's my prediction.
Write it down, FaZe.
He'll get a 2-picture deal. The first one will do better than the second one, whatever it is. And there we go. So and then Terrifier 5, you know, the art of the deal will return.
Of Damien to directing. I don't know. I think for what these are and what they're supposed to be, they're knocking it out of the park.
Yes.
And you're never going to get the story you want. There's never going to be the fucking wow, where you're
Probably not.
Yeah, where you're pondering the story and the characters' plights. That's not that kind of movie, man. It's just not.
That's fair.
No, like I said, I'm a Zag. This is just a straight up grindhouse slasher love movie. That's all it is, man. You can't take it.
Please fast.
And I think art can be considered soon, at least in the popularity tier. I think he's made his way up there. He's damn near close. I would go to Spirit Halloween. Go to fucking Party City. I go everywhere. Art is fucking everywhere right now.
I saw at my Spirit Halloween, I saw 3 items with art. I saw probably 600 with Ghostface.
Yes, but you know why? Because people are buying the art shit, not the Ghostface shit.
No, I mean just like on the shelves, 3 different items. I'm talking about different items.
I've seen more than that, at least online, not in person. My Spirit Halloween fucking sucks. Literally, the only thing they had left were costumes and a shitty Trick or Treat mask or Trick or Treat Studios mask. Like that was it. The neon sign was gone. I wanted the house slippers because you guys know I like my funny house slippers. They're red flags according to my oldest daughter. I'm like, well, fuck you, they're fun. I don't tell her that. That's what I think.
All right. There you go, folks. Art the Clown, Terrifier 3. Let us know what you would give it for those of you that saw it.
Art the Clown at all. What do you think? Are we wrong? Is he worthy? Is he not worthy?
I would put him in the C tier. I would move him up. I would move him up from D to C.
I'd move him up to B, but I'll be honest, I put him above Ghostface. But then again, I'll admit,
Ziggy started with him in the B, though.
Yeah, I didn't go as high with him as Zag did.
I can't advance him though. I can't. Not yet. He's still in B to me.
But I would not
top of the B.
No one can say he's well. I shouldn't say no one, but it's incorrect for him to be considered an icon yet.
I don't think we'll get that answer for another decade or so.
Yeah,
not legitimately, but that's my thing.
We're too close to it though to really say. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know
he's a climbing figure.
Yeah,
but let's see what happens.
Well, they got the Ice 9 Kills. He's in that video, so.
Well, yeah, they wrote
the song. Doesn't
song.
impress me much. I can't stand fucking Ice 9 Kills.
All right, we got to chat about It's Me, Billy, at least briefly.
Yeah, I mean we're 7 minutes over, so let's
see
what we can do here.
It's Me, Billy. Chapter 2 wraps up the Black Christmas saga by Bruce Dale and Dave McRae. It's on YouTube now. Go find it on Dave McRae's channel. I just say a short summary of what you thought and a score.
Yeah.
Start with Ziggy.
Yeah, I mean, boom, we picked this baby right up, and it's now a complete film. It's a feature film if you put 1 and 2 together. And it's a beautiful legacy tribute to the original 74 Black Christmas. I mean, we've seen all the fan films, you know this, and we like some of them, we don't like some of them. This one's fucking worthy, man. I mean, I'm happy Vinny didn't put out a Friday the 13th fan film this year, because if we give it away, if it makes our list our fan films category, this is the one, man, for this year for sure.
Dude, this might be in my regular top 10 or top whatever we're doing, 15, 20.
It currently is for mine, so we'll see if it stays. We'll see if it stays, because I like it that much. We couldn't talk about it last week, but hopefully you've had a chance to see it now. My favorite scene of the whole thing is just Billy sitting at a table, and they take you right into his psychosis, what it would kind of might be like to be Billy, and it's fantastic. It's just a wonderful, although FaZe probably will disagree with me, a depiction of insanity. I mean, absolute, just what is it? Homicidal comes to mind. Just the mind of him and the way they flip the cameras around. And
the camera shots are
it's great. Yeah,
it's so.
I don't disagree with you.
Good. It's so
because
good.
it's good writing.
Fucking wonderful. And it just goes from there. I mean, it's it plays out pretty good, and it's got a good ending. I mean, what's not to like, man? This one, I'm happy to have it. Again, Black Christmas is so fucking underrated. You would never think.
And I hate that term.
Care. What's that?
I hate that term. You know this.
Yes.
God damn it. You're just trying to push my fucking buttons, aren't you?
No, I'm not. You wouldn't even care. You wouldn't even care. But here we are. We got this fan film, and it's great. It works. The characters connect. It's all the way around. I love this thing, man. I'm giving it an 8.5 for It's Me, Billy, Chapter 2.
All right.
A solid 8.5, a real 8.5.
Phase, go ahead.
Yeah, fucking Tarek. You got me. I'm just gonna show that right now.
Yeah, you might as well.
Faze would win the night if he's like, yeah, he acted perfectly. It's just the script. No, this time the script is great. No, I actually agree with you this time. It was, and again, the acting was fine, but also this time the script is great. But
the acting in this is 10 times better than
the acting
most of the acting in Terrifier 3.
No,
except for one character, and It's Me, Billy.
I'm not going to worry about that right now. It's just It's Me, Billy Chapter 2 is excellent. Loved Chapter 1. I just got done watching it right before we went live here for a second time and enjoyed it again, and yeah, good length. Yeah, if you put the two of them together, it's only like an hour and a half. It's still shorter than Terrifier 3.
It's a feature.
It's a perfect feature length, and they connect right together. I mean, I'm going to match it. I'm going to go 8.5. Really good. Very good.
Yeah. All right, Colonel.
Yeah, It's Me, Billy, Chapter 2. Beautifully shot. I'm Zag. The scene with Billy and all the different camera angles were fucking wild. I thought that was brilliantly shot. Like I said, looked fucking great. The acting was sufficient for fan film. Not Oscar worthy, but way better than most other fan films like It's Me, Billy, It usually is, because it's way better than most fan films in every fucking way. I can't stand fucking fan films, but I can stand It's Me, Billy, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. I enjoyed it. I give it an 8, but it's still the fact that it's not going to make my list because it's a fan film. But
you're not going to count it.
Now, if he puts them together, okay, now it's a feature-length film. I would probably add it to my list, and it would make my list.
Well, I mean, you can consider that. Like,
just chapters 1 and 2 together. No,
because I know someone's going to fight with me about Late Night with the Devil, based on its release date. So chapter 1
for God's sake.
years ago.
I'm counting.
Fair enough.
No, I'm counting. I'm counting Late Night with the Devil. Yeah.
All right.
It got released here in 2024. It doesn't matter.
I know, but before there's one where it's like came out at the tail end of the year prior, and then we weren't allowed to put it on the list.
Well, as we're being able to keep track of these this year, we can make those exceptions.
Okay,
and that's one that we can keep track of.
Well, that makes me happy. So
we let those other motherfuckers make the decision, whatever they say. That's what it is.
But by the way,
they say it's 2023.
It's an 8. It's a fun film. Go watch it, fan film or not. It's well done. It's definitely worth the time.
Beautiful film, well written, well acted, except for, like I said, one character. Hold on, just a second.
Yeah,
he's verklempt. He has to.
Just a big sneeze out of nowhere. I love the writing. I love the script. I love the way it ties so well to the original, even 50 years later and by different people. Yeah, see, you got the ghost stick too.
Ghost dude
took a toke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could get into it a little bit more, but obviously we can't for time constraint purposes. But yeah, absolutely will be watched every Christmas. Right. It'll be a marathon. Black Christmas. It's Me, Billy, Chapter 2. Back to back.
I catch flack. I will watch It's Me, Billy, Chapter 1 and 2 around Christmas.
Yeah.
The original Black Christmas. I'm sorry. I tried watching that movie like 4 fucking times. I don't hate it. It's not for me.
You watch that shit.
I have. This me Billy's more entertaining for me. Even better than watching cat videos where you're taking a shit.
All right. Somebody asked a question here. Let me get it.
Kevin just did. I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's right in the bottom.
I'm there. I'm getting there. There we go. Well, hold on. Let me start with this. He says, I thought the acting across the board was terrific. Who's the character you didn't think was acted well and why? Thanks, Kevin, for the question. Right. And thanks for tuning in. I'll be honest, man. I wasn't super impressed with Nancy, Lynn Griffin. I thought she kind of it just didn't work for me. I can't really go into it too much, but I felt like she kind of played some of it a little over the top, and that's all. But
the views and opinions expressed by Craig may not be the opinions of the rest of the DCNs.
That's just me. I love Lynn Griffin. I thought she was, I loved her in the original, but this one it just didn't work for me. You can yell at me if you want. That's cool. I would rather you didn't. But that's the thing. I thought she was okay. Everybody else, fucking phenomenal. That's just me. But I'm going with an 8.5 as well, because I dug it. It's a little bit less of a rank for me than the first one, but
we didn't expect that first one. We did not expect it.
Right. And this one, it met all the expectations, and it matches so well with the first one. But the story but the story is a little bit slower than even I would like, and there's not a whole lot to it, So I even think, there's a little bit in it that could be cut, but not gonna go into it. So.
It's I can't wait till this one has a merged together. You know what I mean? It's all into one piece. Mm-hmm. I will be purchasing that DVD as well.
Oh yeah. No, I'm definitely getting those. Yes. Luke says, "Are the It's Me Billy fan films on YouTube?" Yes, link.
Yes.
Luke. Yes. In the description of this video, there should be a link to it.
Oh, there's one there too.
Yeah.
I put one in the comments as well, but it's probably buried.
On that shit. FaZe is on it.
Let me hit this and then we'll wrap it up. Kevin says, at the end of the day, I think it's just unreal what these guys have done on a limited budget. It's totally pro, studio level. It's almost ridiculous, just like Never Hike Alone. Those are the two, man.
100%
studio level. Yeah, I like that term.
Yeah. And kudos in some ways, or a lot of ways at least, to Damien Leone for doing that with Terrifier as well.
Sure.
Because 2 and 3 look great most of the way through. There's a couple of hiccups here and there, but I wish he would hire an editor. He finally hired a special effects guy. I wish he would team with someone to do rewrites and polishes. Even a dialogue punch up,
Agreed.
would be nice.
A second eye on that script, just anything really.
John Carpenter had Deborah Hill help him with his teenage girl's dialogue, and that saved that fucking movie probably. So I think Damien needs to find his Deborah Hill.
Good luck, because it was hard to beat that fucking duo right there.
Oh, I know. So
it's Phil Falcone.
But he's not a writer.
I think he's just a producer.
He's a producer. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us, guys. I believe. I think we got to pretty much everything.
We did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It sucks that we had to rush right through the chapter 2 stuff, man.
I know.
But, Terrifier's the talk of the toast of the town now. So,
Well, and it's hard to cram, talking about a 2 hour and 8 minute movie in less than 2 hours.
Yes.
So, Anyway, next week, folks, we're back on the review train. We are going to be reviewing. There it is. Yep. Smile 2. Yeah. Just like that. In theaters this Friday. Go check it out. Let's compare notes next Monday. And Ziggy, send them out. You creepy fuck.
Yeah, man. We're back. Rocking the New York groove.
Calm down.
Smile 2. I don't know, man. I'm not sure about this one. You know, I thought they had a pretty cool. Let's see if they have that sophomore slump kind of thing where they fuck up a good thing with the sequel. I hope not, but it's kind of what I'm expecting at this point. But won't you join us and hear the rage or the praise, whatever comes first from the DCS, all for you next week. Love you. See you next week.
Before I hand it off to Colonel, let me mention also special thanks to our members one last time. Final girls and guys. Christy, C-Pays, Lorena, BD, Alex, Robert, our Crazy Ralph's, Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn Enchilada Pod. And, of course, our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck, Dave, Canadian Dave, by the way, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ. Become a member and support the DCS at deathcursesociety.com. Scroll on over to the membership tab and pick one of your choosing. And, of course, thanks to our AP phase. All right, take it away, Colonel.
Yes, this is a lot of fun tonight. I expected a good debate for Terrifier 3, which I think we got. I expected universal praise for It's Me, Billy Chapter 2, which we got. So tonight played out exactly how I thought it would. Smile 2 review coming next week. I hope it's fun. We'll see. But speaking of rage or praise, you know, this goes for both the ladies and the gentlemen.
Oh, God.
If you don't want to get raged at and you want praised, make sure you wash those dicks. And ladies, make sure you use, don't like Scuba Steve, use Summer's Eve.
There was a guy Saturday named Steve at karaoke, and I couldn't look him in the eye because I kept thinking of Scuba Steve.
Oh, my God.
It was pissing me off. Phase, send them out.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't know, maybe we'll be able to talk about It's Me, Billy Chapter 2 a little bit next week just to kind of fill the time. But we'll see.
We'll see.
But just, you know, it was fun. You know, talk about Terrifier 3, you know, a bit of a debate there, you know. It probably, you know, I don't know. Could square off some arguments there maybe after the show. But I enjoyed it. You know, I didn't dislike Terrifier 3 as much as I thought I would. The fun moments are certainly all right. But yeah, just see you all next week for Smile 2. I missed the original, so I'm going to have to watch that as well. So it should be interesting.
I'm going to watch it too, again, just to get
yeah, might as well.
Of course.
What we do.
As always, have a great night. And what is it, Ziggy next?
I started this mess.
Man.
Oh, you started. Then it's you.
Yep. Thank you all. Have a great night. And Victoria, what are you doing? Put that down. Do not put that up your nose, Victoria.
Hey, Victoria, come here.
God damn it.
Stop switching off shoes, Victoria. It has to be confusing.
You guys are terrible.
Love y'all. Have a good week. We'll see you next Monday. Woo! Victoria! Victoria!
O'clock already, it was just in the middle of a dream.
this is David Howard Thornton, Mr. Art the Clown himself from the movie Terrifier, and you're watching Death Curse Society.